Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Antonio Perez with the GX4, the good, the bad, and the indifferent. So today, where you guys already heard me talking about this on my social media, super comfortable. Looking forward to this interview because we connected a few months back, and I told him, "Hey, let me interview you. You have a great success story that we all want to hear about." So we have Jose Acosta with PAK Home Realty.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Antonio, for having me. Super excited to be here with you and have this conversation about growth, about mindset, and how to move forward in life.
No, most definitely. I know you're first generation in the US. Why real estate? What sparked your interest to get into this real estate
Um,
market?
that's a great question. And it all started with a career night. A friend of mine, Eric, he invited me to a career night. And when that happened, I just thought, you know what, this will be a great opportunity because I come from very humble beginnings. My parents, we lived in projects and everything, and I always thought, you know what? I always dream, I'm gonna get my family out of this ghetto area, always. And God has a way of making connections, and He connected me. My friend that I met at church, he was doing real estate because of his brother, and he invited me to career night. And I went, and I love what they shared, the possibility of helping families get their homes and making money with that. But what really triggered me was the possibility of me helping my family get into a better area, and that was it. After that's all I did for a long time,
That's so cool. How long have you been in the industry?
since 2005. Yeah,
2005.
yeah.
Okay, not to age you, but how old were you when you were like going to career night and actually trying to, you didn't even know what you were getting yourself into?
The interesting part was that I was 19 when I went, but I didn't get licensed till 2020, I believe it is. I'm sorry, I'm getting my years crossed, but I think I was 20 when I actually got my license.
A few years later.
Yeah, a few years later. But I work with a broker going to door knock, making calls and just getting out there in the field and just getting started from scratch. No connections, no nothing. Just imagine a 18, 19-year-old kid knocking on your door, asking you to do business with them. So it was some hard times in the beginning. Belief in myself, belief that this will work for me. I didn't have it at that point. It was just a belief that something needed to happen.
Absolutely. And I could relate to that because I started when I was 16 and a half, 17, and it just started. I'm first generation in the US myself. And my parents were like, no, we got to get you off these streets. You have to do something better with your life. They took me to my mentor and it started door knocking, cold calling, all that was
Yeah,
part of the process.
yeah.
So I could relate to your story. That's good.
It builds you up.
Yeah. So you were born and raised in California, correct?
California, yeah.
Okay. So now we're out here in Arizona. That's very successful, taking over Arizona. You recently made the change out here. What sparked the change from California to Arizona?
Again, God has a way of doing things. I really believe that. And things weren't going as I desire or as I plan. And I just needed to make a change. I
Okay.
needed to make a change for the betterment of myself, my wife, my little girl, and had a conversation with my father in law and told him about the plans and my dad as well and my mom. And that's what it was. So we came out here not knowing anyone really, no connections, no nothing. Again, the way you start things sometimes. And we called my friends out there in California and told them, look, this is what I'm going to do. And the rest is history, man. To answer your question, it was a challenge to come out here. Again, not knowing what was going to happen, not even knowing about PAK. Yeah. And we took the risk. We trusted God. And the last 2 years have been the biggest blessing we've been able to experience in our life. I feel that in the last 2 years, we've already created what we didn't create in the last 20 years. And I really believe that is because God guided us to be here.
That's very powerful. I even get the chills hearing that
Yeah.
because making a move in our industry after we have somewhat of a legacy or a business established,
Yeah.
it's so hard to just be like, okay, let me go up and move.
In the beginning, I would even go back to California to help clients. So I was living part time in Arizona and then part time in California, and I just needed to cut that.
Yeah. So you're 100% Arizona.
I'm living 100% in Arizona. However, I do have agents that help us out there as well with my clients out there.
Okay. So what's your new role here in Arizona? Are you with PAK? Are you still like a producing realtor? Tell me a little bit about that.
Great question. So now I'm the broker of PAK, and on the production side, I'm starting to produce again myself. More not as hands on as before, but more through other agents that want to get into the industry. So that's what I'm doing. And the main focus is growing the company out here. We do have a lot to offer to the individuals that want to help work with us. And that's the main role right now.
Okay. So for all our viewers that don't know what PAK Realty is, because I didn't even know what PAK Realty was a few years back. I shared the story before the cameras were on. So tell us a little bit about the core values of PAK, how those align with you.
Perfect. So PAK stands for professional, accountable, and knowledgeable. And the reason why that aligns with me is because in order to be any of those three, first you need to work on yourself. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter where you've been, you have the opportunity to become better, that better version of yourself. And we preach that every single day in the company. In order for you to have a successful business, you need to work on yourself first. In order for you to have a successful family, you need to work on yourself first. In order for your outside world to change, you need to work on yourself first. And God has even given us that order of things. You can't expect the outside to change without us not working on ourselves. So that was the main thing that connected with me. That in order for me to see the better life that I wanted, in order for me to contribute more to my community, to my family, to the industry, I needed to figure out who I needed to become to do that. And to tell you the truth, becoming the broker was one of the scariest things because I didn't have the experience. I had the experience in sales. I had the experience working with clients. I had the experience of communicating with other agents in the industry, but never the experience in actually training and teaching and guiding agents how to become a better individual, in turn having a better life and a better business.
Yeah. And what you just shared with us resonates with something that I learned a few months back. I used to always say, fake it till you make it. Put yourself in certain rooms. That way you could learn and live it. And somebody that it stuck to me, he was like, no, don't fake it till you make it. Be it till you live it.
Oh, that's beautiful, man.
And now, like you're telling me, like you live your core values, live what PAK is.
Yeah.
And that's why you feel like your growth, your positioning, your family, like everything is falling into place and you grew so much in the last 24 months.
Thank God, man.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your routines. I see you a lot on social media in the mornings where you work out, you push yourself, you give like a motivational speech about what you're doing, how it incorporates. Like, where did all that come from?
A lot of that came from the past. I've been through all kinds of coaching as well. I've been to Tony Robbins seminars. I went to go see Bob Proctor, Jim Rohn, like all the OG people in the self-development industry. I've Brian Tracy, everyone that you can think of, I've heard or applied different things that I learned from them. One of the biggest things has been my morning routine has been my time with my creator, with God. I actually just changed the title of that through another mentor that I'm learning from. I used to just think I just need to work on myself, but I never really connected it that working with myself is just reflecting and connecting with God too, because He works through me. So, in order for me to do that, I was specializing on just focusing on business, and then I said, you know what? No, how can I connect business and God? Because it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You can connect everything. I can connect my personal life with my business. I can connect God with anything and everything. So the first thing I do is pray, of course, meditate, read. I journal a lot. I do a couple exercises with the journaling and exercise. Again, I'm not going to say I do it every single day because I don't, but I do come back to it regularly every week because I know what it's doing for me. As a broker, you do have a lot on your plate. Also, as a client experience officer for the company, there's a lot on your plate. As a father, there's a lot on my plate. As a husband, we all have different roles. and there's a lot on our plate. So the way I handle that is by writing it out. I write a lot, man. I write a lot. I think a lot, and I work on creating a lot. I do believe that we are creative beings. That's actually the first thing that God shared about Himself. He created the earth, and when we talk about creation, for some reason we disconnect from that instead of connecting to who we really are. We all have the ability to. If we talk about everything around here, everything, the microphone, the sign, your shirt, my shirt, our watch, everything was created by someone. But yet, unless we start repeating that and reprogramming ourselves, we get stuck on just whatever life gives us in. We're not meant to live that way.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I've never seen life that way. I was born and raised Catholic, and I used to not like going to church. Nothing against Catholic, but it was like instilled in me where, like, my mom was like, you got to wake up at 7 a.m, go to church. And it was like, no, that's the only day I could sleep. I used to play competitive sports back then.
Okay.
So as soon as I was an adult that I could make my own decisions to not go, I kind of vanished. I went away from it. And little by little, I started reading. I started my entrepreneur life.
Okay.
A lot of people know that I used to be 300 and something pounds.
Wow.
7, 8 years ago.
Wow.
And my daughter, she's 17 now, but back then she was 8. Like 9, somewhere around there. She started playing soccer, and I got winded after 2 minutes. And now I feel that was God calling me, because that pushed me to want to work out. I started walking, running, pushing myself to go to the gym, so on and so forth. And then from there, I started getting better and better health. I started reading more. I started getting closer to God, but not going to church, not even saying the word God or anything like that. But I just felt like this different connection, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And then I started picking up books. I used to hate reading.
Wow.
I used to not read. Then I started doing audiobooks because I was on the go. And then from there, I let go of corporate America to become an entrepreneur. But it goes like working out,
Yeah.
studying, reading, and then slowly, like now, every Sunday, I'm actually looking forward to going to church.
That's good, man.
Putting myself in front. And when I go to church, I don't say now I became Christian, but I still don't know how to pray. I still don't know how to talk to Him. I feel silly talking to Him because it's very new to me. But I think I'm going to adopt writing it down.
You know what? Like, God knows how you're going to communicate with Him. So in regards to that, just talk. Just be, bro. Just be, because there's no right or wrong way. I'll ask you this. Is there a right or wrong way for your daughter to talk with you?
No.
You will understand her. You will you will do everything that you can in your power as a father to be there for her, right?
Absolutely.
It's the same connection, man. Right now that you mentioned not having nothing to do with church, I went through that for about 4 years. I left it. Mine was the opposite. I would go to church 7 days a week. And for whatever reason, there was a lot of church in my life.
Yeah.
Whatever the reason was. And I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm fed up. And I just left. I got my first house, and it was a party scene. It was just like, that's what I was doing. That was my way of not even rebelling against my parents, because I had nothing to do with them, but me trying to prove myself. No, I need to go experience the world. I need to go do this. I need to go do that. And eventually, through time, God just brought me. It wasn't my mom, and I God bless her soul, and my dad for keeping me under prayers, but God has a way of getting to their kids. Just like we have to learn how to cultivate that with our kids. Right now, they're young. Later on, they're going to be teenagers. Later on, they're going to be adults. Later on, we're going to be gone. And between now and then, we have to figure that part out. So I'm glad God connected with you through your daughter, man, because that is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I know. And I never put 1 and 2 together until right now that I was listening to your side of the story. For you as a first generation in the U.S., like being a minority, How does that help you with your client relations? Or how does that go hand in hand with real estate?
Now, before I used to connect a lot with the minority. Now I don't consider myself that. And the reason why, we're all created the same, man. We're all created the same, and it's up to us to develop that a bit, the mindset, the thinking that I don't go based on the titles that people give. And the reason why I'm saying that is because sometimes, based on the terms that we get, we tend not to move forward in life. And the reason why I share this with you is because for so many years, man, in the beginning, I only work with Latino community and African American community because that's all I knew. That's all I felt comfortable with. And I needed to work through that to get that image of myself out of me. And little by little, I started working with Caucasian, with Chinese, with all kinds of ethnicities. But who was blocking that? Me. So the reason why I'm sharing that is because we need to figure out a way. If there's something blocking us from the opportunity to go serve more families, it doesn't matter who they are, it doesn't matter their ethnicity, how much they make, none of that matters. These are individuals that want to be service, and we have the service. So we really need to work on how do we get those blinders off and become the best version of ourselves to be able to provide the service to anyone and be the ones that service them instead of allowing them to be serviced by someone that doesn't have their best interest. You know what I mean?
Amen to that. Today's a learning day for me because I feel like you should be conducting the questions today. Yeah, because that's one thing that I always, when I go to service, I ask God, like in our communion, help me service as many families as I can. Help me serve my community without thinking of money, numbers, ego, being the number one loan officer, or any of that. And I'm not speaking to you as a loan officer right now, but that's something personal that I go through. And I think I just got my answer.
There's a market out there, brother, that is ready to receive what you have for them, and there's no limit to that. So all of the you can easily create departments of who's going to be the individuals that are going to help my Spanish speaking clients, and then who's going to be the individuals going to help my English speaking clients, because they're both. Now that part I do understand, but I don't separate by minority, economical level, none of that. It's just Spanish or English right now until we find more clients. And now we need to bring someone who speaks Chinese and everything. But that's how I personally see it.
Oh, moving forward, it's probably not going to be perfect,
Oh,
but I am going to make that small tweak.
yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah. What are daily habits that you have that give you that mindset that you currently have that are sharing with us?
I'm big on personal development, and I'm big on allowing God to show me who else do I need to learn from. And right now I'm listening to a gentleman, Myron Golden, I believe his name is. And the reason why I'm listening to him is because he helps me think bigger. There's no barriers to what we can create except the barriers that we created ourselves. So, in order for us to think, how am I going to help more people? First, we need to replace the current image of oneself that has only helped this number of people. And then after we start doing that, little by little, we start helping more people. So that's what I've been doing. Been hanging out. I say hanging out with people that are thinking way above me, not making me any less or them any better. It's just they've learned to work and get to that level of thinking. So now it's again, no faking till you make it. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm going. This is where I need to get through to get there.
And for all those agents out there that started in the industry in 2020, 2019, they had fast success, 2021, 2022, and rates were in the twos and everybody was qualifying to purchase the home. Right now with 2023, 24, up to 25, a lot of those agents still have a license, but they're not practicing. They're just paying their fees. What are your words of wisdom, or what can you share with us that could help that agent come back into the market?
The word that comes to mind is being resourcefulness. The biggest blessings that the individuals had during that time is that they came into a lot of business. Now, if you don't see this, you don't see real estate as a business, you did a lot of business, but you did not become a business owner. You did not put systems in place. You do not know what your resources are. You do not know what your connections are. And maybe you even lost the belief in yourself because now it is really time to work. So my advice would be get clear with what your resources are. Who are your connections? What abilities do you have to help clients? How can you become better? What other skills do you need to service? How can you actually start making connections that are going to bring you not one client, but 10 clients a year? I'll give you an example. Go talk to attorneys. Go talk to individuals that have databases of clients that you can service. Become their go-to real estate person. Attorneys, CPAs, what else? Business owners. There's business owners that don't have the time to go out because they're running their business, but you can become the real estate resource to their employees. There's HR departments in big businesses, right? HR departments, they're the ones that know when someone's going to be transferring to another state. Why not build a relationship with that person or with that company and become the real estate resource? Divorce attorneys, probate attorneys. There's so many other ways of cultivating relationships. So my advice is start becoming resourceful. Don't get stuck on, yes, doing open houses is great to get to understand how to do business, to get to understand the community, to make connections, but start thinking bigger. How about if you start learning how to social media? And I'm preaching to myself right now because I need to get better at that. But I know a lot of the agents in our company, they are using social media and they're blowing it up. One of our clients, one of our agents, she just closed a $7.4 million deal off of social media.
Oh, wow.
Off of social media. And it's way different than our time. Our time, the first listing I got, it took me 4.5 months of door knocking 4 to 5 days a week, nonstop, 4 to 5 hours a day. But now it's different. So I feel that doing business now is easier in the sense that if you position yourself and you start using your resources, your phone being one of them, business will happen. A bunch of agents, they're out there doing previewing properties. A lot of people love that. If I were to tell you stories across every single state that we're a part of, I can tell you countless stories of individuals that are just focusing on social media, providing value, and getting business.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And a very direct question. Why?
PAK. That's a great question. First of all, I'm big on loyalty.
Okay.
Okay. And the reason why I say that is because there's individuals that God put in my life for many reasons. And this is part of me paying back for all the value that they brought to me. And now I feel that we can all contribute value to the real estate community. So a little bit about PAK. I known the owners since Intero days. Danny Morel, Anthony, Jason. That's how I knew Oscar. That's how I knew the group. So after that, like I mentioned, I decided to move states, and there wasn't a broker out here for PAK. My good friend Ivan Rivas, he was trying to bring PAK out here, and for whatever the reason, I know the reason because I needed to become the broker. It wasn't happening. I know he had several conversations with other brokers, and then I talked to them since I had the experience in California. I qualified to become the broker out here, and I told them, "Hey, Anthony, hey, Jason, I'm looking to do this. Are you guys up for it?" And they said yes. So why? Because I seen the growth that through the teachings that they taught us and the community that we have, it's improved my life and a bunch of other agents. A lot of people don't know this, but the leaders that are growing PAK, we met through coaching with Danny Morel. And jokingly, we would have a conversation. What if we create a real estate and we all grew it together? It's coming true. It's coming true. There's leaders in every single state that we're a part of that we met through that coaching company. And that's what I mean. Now we're giving back. We're giving back from all the trainings that we got throughout the years. We believe in having a full life, having success in business, but also having success in your marriage, having success in business, but also having success in the community, because it's possible. We've met other individuals that have done it, and now we're doing it ourselves, and now we're teaching others. So that's why PAK. We really believe in building the agent up. That way they can face anything that comes to their life and then create the life that they want with God's help.
If there's an agent out there that's looking for a change or open to a conversation, how can they connect with you?
They can follow me on social media, Jose J. Acosta on Instagram. And the only thing I do ask, I'm going to have an honest conversation with the agent. And the honest conversation is going to be looking at themselves first. So if the agent is really ready to put into work, again, it starts with us. I'm open to having a conversation, even if they're not part of PAC right now, and they just want to have a conversation of how they can get from wherever they're at to their next stage. I'm more than welcome, more than open to having a conversation with them.
Okay, that's great. Anything that you feel that if you were on my side, that you would want me to ask you?
Yeah. Where do I see PAC growing? Right now, we're in 8 states. The plan is to grow nationwide. And I know that we will create that because we have the right people in place and we have the right mindset of what we want to create. We're not just looking to just grow the company, just get to 10,000 agents just for the number. No, we're looking to actually create life transformations. Life transformations, whether it's their health, whether it's their finances, their marriages, their relationships, their with their parents. Once you take care of the individual, everything else comes together. For anyone that is, even for other brokers that are open to the understanding that of creating with us, I'm open to having a conversation with them as well and see if this is a fit for them.
And I'm a witness of that, to be honest with you. Even at one point, I was like, do I need to get my real estate license to be part of PAC? Just because, and I'm kidding on getting my license,
Yeah.
but like I see you guys recently went as a company to Colorado.
Yeah.
I know you guys go out to California. I think you guys have something coming into Arizona.
Yeah.
But you're a PAC at the end of the day. Like, it's all of you guys. And I feel a little bit jealous sometimes. I'm like, damn, like I want to be a realtor. Like I want to be part of these events. But I do see it. There's a few realtor partners that I work with.
Yes.
I've been in the industry for about 23 years. They recently made changes to go to PAC. And I feel that their business has grown not because they're doing more work, it's because they're investing more in themselves and their mind, body, and soul, which is something that I do see you guys instilling in them and actually like showing them versus just telling them.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming out today. It means a lot. I know it's like a 2-hour drive or something like that.
3.5.
3.5-hour drive. Thank you. Thank you for being part of it. If you want to drop, I know you mentioned your social media right now, but if you want to give us any more of your contact info, that way they could reach out to you, feel free. Like, this is your time, your stage.
Yeah. If anybody wants to have a conversation, you can reach me out to 562-200-0977. And also, I really appreciate the opportunity for you having me here. I heard a lot of good things about you from the agents, and that's what triggered this conversation. Whenever we see something that's working and we see value, I always want to learn about it to see what else we can implement, because you can implement value from anywhere, from any industry. You can bring it into the real estate industry, whether it's lending or real estate. So I appreciate everything that you're doing. I see everything that's going on. Not everything, but a lot of what I see has been great. How you can connect with your agents and all the content that you guys create and all the value that you guys give, which is awesome. So I appreciate that. And I'll just give another plug. We are going to have our business planning retreat in November 5th, right here in Scottsdale, Arizona. So be on the lookout for that. I will definitely be putting that on my social media. And this is not just for PAC agents, but anyone that is interested in, again, we are creators. So anyone that's interested in creating the best 2026, this will be a definite opportunity for you to come, join, grow, and collaborate.
Do you need to be licensed to make it to that event?
Real estate license?
Yeah.
No, there's going to be lenders, going to be agents. So
Cool. And I don't mean it because of me. I meant it like if there's somebody that wants to come learn about the industry and kind of go through the phase of, you know what, this podcast changed my view of real estate. I want to take the next step to become a realtor. Would that be a good place for them to go? Or
If they're serious about coming into the business, yes, because it's going to actually give you good habits on how to start the business. As if throughout the years we can create habits, sometimes they're working for us, sometimes they're working against us. Through the training that we're going to be giving is definitely how to position yourself, put the systems in place, make the connections, work on yourself, and then start working on your business. So I would say yes.
perfect. There you have it, guys. Funny story how I met him. He was in a meeting at a restaurant. And I don't know why that day I was full of energy. And he's with a friend of mine. I go up to him. I go up to my friend and I say hello to him. I didn't acknowledge you and I apologize for that. But I actually thought he was having a meeting with his team, with all the girls from his team. And
Yeah.
he had told me that he had hired a new marketing gentleman. So I thought you were him.
Oh, wow.
So when I walked in, I saw Ivan, and Ivan was like, "Oh yeah, Izzy's in the back." So that's why I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go say hi to him." That way I could introduce the agent that was with me
Uh-huh.
because I know he wanted to meet her.
Okay.
Long story short, I go up and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" I start talking to him. Ignore him. Don't even acknowledge him. And you guys know me. I'm never like full of energy, but that day I was like full of energy. And I was like, and then I saw you out of the corner of my eye and I saw your shirt. And I was like, whoa, I think I just walked into a meeting. And the rest of that. But that's how we met and how we connected.
That was funny, man.
Yeah. So I apologized after that. And then we kept it moving. And I let them do their meeting. And here we are. So don't interfere with meetings,
But make the connection.
but make the connection. We'll leave it with that. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
brother.